I hope everyone is fit and fine and doing well, and your vacations are also you have enjoyed a lot. Now, today we'll start our lesson number 3, that is types of software. In this chapter, we're going to learn about software, its classification, and then its sub-classification or subtypes. Okay, one by one, we'll be going to cover all the topics, starting from software. So, what is actually a software? Software is just a collection of all the programs and procedure that instruct a computer how to perform different type of tasks. So computer cannot do himself anything. He need someone to give a command or instruction to him. That's why we, the user, we need to tell the computer what type of command or work should be done by the computer, and that he will be performing that particular task. Here, a proper logic sequence is being needed computer to understand, and that logic is being called as the computer program, and the set of programs are called a software. So as you can see, there are basically 3 steps for doing this. First, an instruction is given, collection of all the instructions make a program, and those collection of programs make a software. Okay, so there are, if let's take an example, let's say calculator. So calculator, in the calculator, if you have seen, we have numbers from 0 to 9, then some operations like plus minus into divide and some more operations. So when we are and pressing some numbers and some operations, so those pressing numbers or operations are called your instructions, where you're telling the calculator that if let's say I want to add 2 numbers, so you're telling number 2 plus 5, so this is an instruction you're giving to the calculator. So when you combine that together, that is 2 plus 5, so that full together makes a program. Okay, that can be anything. You're adding 2 numbers, multiplying them, subtracting them, dividing them, finding percentage, square root, anything, whatever you want, you can do on the calculator. So same way, when you are telling some set of instructions, that makes a program, and those collection of programs make a software or calculator work. Same way over here also, computer can understand your instructions in a form of a programs, and then he will be doing the work as a software there. Then comes the classification of software. So here you can see, there here they have given 3 types, but actually in your book you can see they have given only 2 types of software: system software and application software. This utility software is coming in the system software. So in somewhere you will find utility as a part of system software, whereas sometime you can find that as a separate from the system software. So it doesn't matter much, don't worry about that. Okay, so in the system software you can see we have operating system, language processor, then device, driver, and utilities. Whereas in the application based software, we have general purpose application software, specific purpose application software, or customized software. One by one, all these topics we are going to cover. So when we say an system software is basically have a collection of one or more program which are designed to control the overall operation and performance of the computer system. So it just act as an interface between the user and the computer. So it's just a mediator who will be helping the user as well as the computer to understand what user wants from him. Okay, that is the work done by the system software. Whereas application software, here all the work what we want, the let's say your MS Office, Word, these all are the application or app. If you say in the mobile we have app is a short form of application. So same way in the system, all the applications which helps the user to do some specific task, that is your application software. So if you say system software, we have some relationship between hardware and software. How does that work? See, on the lowest level we have hardware means your CPU, RAM, input output devices means mouse, keyboard, all those things. Though if a user is giving some command with the help of this, then we need a software who will be doing our work. I'm telling again, what we are doing on the lowest level, we have an hardware, our CPUs, keyboard, mouse. Okay, when we are asking them to do something, so that goes in the software, and software also have 2 parts, that is the system software and application software. system software will be having this operating system who will be telling it just act as a mediators between the user and the computer, and whatever is we are asking, that will be fulfilled. Let's say we are the user, I'm sitting in front of a system, I open Paint. Okay, so Paint is one of the software. Then it will be, when I save something, so it will be going in the CPU memory for saving my work what I have painted. Okay, this is how the paint is being done. So this is the relation between the hardware and software. Without any software, hardware will not be useful, whereas without hardware, a software is useless. So this is our criteria for having the proper connection between the computer. Okay, now we'll see the first, system software. So system software is a set of programs that work as an intermediary between the computer hardware and application program. Just now I've told you it just play as a mediator who will be helping us to understand what computer is going to do, and to computer to understand what user is asking from. They are designed to control the overall operation and performance of a computer system. So their system software means their work is being organized to control the system, means our computer, whatever we need. Let's say I want to save something, so I don't care where in my memory it is going to save. Okay, but it's a work of a system software to see that my file saved properly without any problem. Let's say if I'm working on 2 3 software simultaneously, when I'm clicking on the first one, it should show my first program itself there. So he sees that whatever user is asking, that should be shown on the screen. So that is the work of a system software. It is a set of program that supports the running of the application software in the computer by directly different computer components to perform the various functional tasks. So whatever, if you can see in the diagram also, uh, the system software is in between the hardware and the application software. So whenever we are want to do something, so this will, system software will be helping to tell the application software as well as to the hardware that what user is asking to do so. Okay, I hope you understood about the system software. Now I'll move on to the next one. Here we can see the example of system software also, that when a computer has been switched on, you have observed a basic input output system has been done, which just sees that all the hardware devices are connected properly and are ready to perform or take the instructions from the user. You have just observed sometime it takes some time for opening. So what it is doing, it is doing this mm, uh, basic input output system only. He'll be checking all the devices are connected properly and working also properly. Let's say something happened in my keyboard when I am starting my system, that time itself if the system software get to know about that keyboard is not working properly, a message will be shown on the screen regarding about that particular hardware failed or something. So it will just sees that everything is working properly and is ready to do the work. And it has also been divided into some categories like operating system, language processor, device driver, and utilities. So one by one we are going to see all these. So operating system, what is an operating system? So it plays a very important role in the computer. Without operating system, it is very difficult to do the task. It is I can say main work is been done by the operating system only. He also provide an interface between the computer and the hardware. Whatever we need, it has been provided and seen by the operating system itself. Let's say if I want some more memory, I want to save something, or if I have attached some device, let's say I've attached a pen drive. So if you observe sometime a message has been coming, new device connected or something, so that is also being shown because of operating system only. He sees that without operating system you cannot do any work. So if you see in this diagram also, operating system is being connected with the application as well as this drive, mouse, printer, keyboard, monitor, everything are being connected with the operating system. Without them it will not work properly. Let's say in your school, a principal is an operating system who sees that all the students are behaving properly, teachers are doing their work, if some workers are there, they should maintain a discipline. All the task is being managed by your principal. Same way in our system or computer also, operating system is the principal who sees that everything is working properly. If operating system is not working, then computer is also unable to work properly. Okay, so there are basically two types of operating systems have been there. That is, first is your GUI and second is your CLI or CUI. So GUI means graphical user interface. So it is a graphics based and interactive in nature. It uses device like mouse, keyboard, etc. for interaction with the system. So you can say the examples are Windows, Android and Mac. So if you're, I think everyone is using an Android phone, so they know when they're clicking somewhere the work has been done. So that is your graphical user interface, where with the help of click or touch you are able to complete your task. Whereas in the command line interface or command user interface, you have to they can only give command based on the nature. They can only give the command with the help of the keyboard. They cannot click or they cannot touch anywhere for doing their work. They have to give a command, type the command. Based on the command only the work will be done. The examples are there, Unix and DOS. So these are two basic character based or character user interface which are not so popular in today's world, because basically we want everything to touch and the work should be done. That is why it is not in touch, but earlier character based interface were used. Okay, some more things about the operating system. Operating system act as a software that communicates with the hardware and allow other programs to run. Just now I told about that. Then some common tasks which are being done with the help of the operating system, like loading and saving data in program. Whatever work you're saving, he take care of that. Communication with peripheral devices like mouse and printer. If a printer has been connected and you want to give a command for print, he says that printer is ready for taking your command. Displaying information on monitor. If let's say I am painting, so he sees that when I'm moving my cursor, so that line should be shown on the monitor screen. Managing memory allocation to the program. So when I'm saving, it should be saved properly so that later on when I come back, I can easily see my files there. And then is letting you know type on the computer. Means when we typing, it should be shown there. Sending the documents that is being printed to the printer. Just now I told about the printer. Updating the screen display to inform what is going on. Organizing data on the backend storage device. If you have observed, some backup is always been there, so that if something happens to your system, crashes or something, so from the backup you can retrain all your data. So operating systems do that also. He sees that you're working properly without any problem. Okay, next is maintaining security and limiting access. So here they are just giving the seeing whatever securities be needed, some password when you're giving. So he says that whatever passwords are given, only when they type the correct password, they're able to open that particular file, program or access that particular drive. Then dealing with errors and user instructions. When we are giving some instruction, he sees that the work has been done. So these all are the different work which has been done by the operating system. And at the bottom you can see we have given some popular examples of operating system. This Android one everyone is using. Windows 10 in the computer we are using, or Windows 7 is also an example. Linux in your Teach Next you have been seeing this Linux. And these two, this you are using the Apple phone, and this one is also been used as an operating system. So all these are being used for the different operating system. Okay, and then we have about some functions of operating systems like processor management, memory management, device management and file management. So the work is also been divided by the operating system, so that whatever processing is being done by the CPU, everyone job is been allotted and they should do their work on the allotted time itself. Then memory management means he sees that all the devices shares the internal memory with multiple application. Whenever someone needs to use it, and if some file is not being used for so long, and you can delete also, if it is not in use for longer time. Device management, it controls the working of all input output devices. File management, he sees that keep a track of information regarding creation, deletion, when that particular file is being created, destroyed, all those things. Then is your error detection and security. Just now we have discussed about the security of the operating system. So he sees that whenever someone is giving a password, so no one can open without that given password on that system. Then job scheduling has also been there. Job scheduling means multitasking operating system where multiple programs run simultaneously to do some work on the computer. Okay, next is your programming language. So programming language means a language in which used to make computer programs. So basically the language which we are using for making the programs. If you have heard about some languages like your C, C++, Java, Python, so these are the language which are basically been used for creating the work on the computer. So there are three types of languages are there. Low level language, that is your also called machine language or binary language. Then is your assembly language, which is in a form of some codes. And third one is a high level language, that is basically which we are using, that is a form of a English words where we are using. In the low level language they are only using 0 and 1. Based on 0 and 1 their work has been done. Okay, then comes in the language processor. The language process, computer does not understand any language other than the machine language or the binary language. This I think everyone have learned or seen in the lower classes also, that machine language is a binary language which computer can easily understand. So whatever we are doing, that is in a high level language, basically English words we are using. So we need a software who will be translating or converting our high level language into the machine language so that computer can understand. Okay, so here also we have three types of language translator. When we say translator, I think you understood with the word translator, a person or a thing who can easily convert one language and into another language. I know, let's say an example, if our prime minister is there and he went to China, he only know English, Hindi, and the Chinese president only know Chinese. Okay, and both want to communicate, so they does not have any common language, so it is not possible for them to communicate easily. So what they will be doing, they will be needing a translator. So whatever, and the translator should know English, Hindi as well as Chinese, so that whatever our PM is saying, he tell in Chinese, so that Chinese president can understand, and whatever he is saying, he will tell in English or Hindi so that our prime minister can understand. So same way here also our language processor also will be using this translator for converting the high level language into the machine language. So first is our compiler. Compiler will be converting high level language into machine language or low level language. But what he is doing, he will be compiles the entire or the full code and then give the error if it is present in the code. So let's say if I have a code which is of 100 line. Okay, if I am using a compiler, so what he'll do, he'll be going through all 100 lines, and at last he'll be giving a summary that and so lines, like let's say line number 5 have some error, line number 10 have some error. So at the last he'll be telling about the errors what he found in my coding. Okay, where else the interpreter, what interpreter is doing, he also convert our high level language into machine or low level language, but he will be converting the code line by line and check for the error. So if I have 100 lines there, the interpreter will go for one line. If it is error free, then he move to the next line. If this is also error free, he move to the third line. If he finds some error over here, he will not move to the next line till this error has been rectified or corrected. So this happens in the interpreter. Okay, then comes your assembler. Assembler is used to translate assembly language into the machine language. Okay, I hope it has been clear. In interpreter will be having a source code. So what is the source code? Source code is a code which is basically all the coding has been done there, where all the things are written in a high level language. The interpreter will be converting the high level language line by line. If you found any error, so it will report that error otherwise it will execute the program, and then it will convert into the object code. Object code means program after being converted into machine language. So I think everyone clear. Source code means a high level language coding, and object code means machine language coding. Okay, and next we'll see about the next topic, that is utilities. So utilities are some of the some play an important role for the computer. What we can do with the utilities means we can do the sorting of by date, time, size, all these things. If you observe in the desktop, if you want to sort your icons, so there also when we are doing this sorting by date, type, size, so utility will be doing that for us. He will be converting the file from let's say if you're converting your audio to video, video to audio, or something like that, so that also all done by the utility. Okay, then all the system updates, system information, all your screensaver updates, antivirus software, all those things have been done with the help of the utility only. Okay, he sees that the work has been saved properly and the system has been working smoothly without any problem there. Okay, for today's class only this much I am teaching. uh, just go through these topics in your textbook. If you find any difficulty, please ask me. Okay, thank you.